And good night, Trinidad and Tobago. Welcome to the live broadcast. I hope that everyone is having a tremendous night so far and a tremendous week since after Budget 2025-2026 is typically almost over. Friday we go to Senate. The senators are set to debate the budget there and then come Friday. I know that we're having some issues with YouTube tonight, which is why we're also here on Facebook. Yeah, I'm trying to pull it up on YouTube, and YouTube is actually down. I don't know if it's around the wheel or whatever, sorry. But right now, YouTube is down. I mean, people are joining on YouTube, so I'm thinking that it is working for some, and maybe not all right? So if you're having any issues with YouTube tonight, Facebook is 100% available for you to go to. So therefore, you could participate, follow along the show there on Facebook. And it's David Welch on Facebook for anyone across there, right? So for everyone joining on YouTube that is able to view, welcome to the live broadcast. As we start off, tutor boy. For a long time, persons have been calling for Lumpkin to actually go and for a new tutor president to be sworn in. Well, on the 14th, definitely when everybody wins, the teachers would have gotten their fair share, and the new president-elect of the Trinidad and Tobago Unified Teachers Association is tackling the 4% that teachers would have, or that the former tutor president, Mr. Lumpkin, would have agreed to, and urging that government meet at the negotiating table once more for a 10% wage negotiation for the Trinidad and Tobago teaching fraternity right now, the teachers across Trinidad and Tobago. So congratulations firstly to Crystal Bevan Ash. And yes, Crystal is a man for everyone on social media. The Crystal that you see is a man. I saw a post with a lady saying that she did not want to go and vote for Lumpkin and she was going to vote for someone else. But then she saw the name Crystal and thought it was a female and said that she was going to instead go ahead and vote for Crystal, not knowing it was a man. When the results finally come out, she was like, who is this? Crystal? Who is Crystal? I thought this was a woman I voted for. And she was like, she said that she was upset that she voted, but regardless of next time, she will do her research and see first. But anyway, look, we're on YouTube. Yeah, we're on YouTube. All right. So let me take you to CNC3 today, as Crystal Bevan Ash is now the new tutor president for the Trinidad and Tobago Unified Teachers Association. Congratulations to everyone that went out and voted. I think it was just about 6,000 to 8,000 persons that voted. Take a look.
Newly elected president of the Trinidad and Tobago Unified Teachers Association, Crystal Ashe, says he hopes to re-enter negotiations with the government. Ashe says the acceptance of a 5% by former President Martin Lumpkin may have placed a critical role in his administration would have accepted.
We would have seen what the public servants would have gotten and so on, I think. And we're hoping that the present government would be kind enough such that they would be willing to return to the negotiating table with tutor and ratify that. That is our hope, more or less.
Ashe says his journey in education should be used to inspire others, moving from an on-the-job trainee to a school supervisor. He vows to work with the Education Ministry for improved teaching quality.
And we intend to work cooperatively with the Ministry of Education, and we intend to advocate strongly. We intend to ensure that the ministry does what it is supposed to do, because the Education Act clearly says what are the responsibilities of the Ministry of Education, and we just are there to support them.
And with a first name commonly reserved for women, Ashe thanked his parents for naming him that, saying it gave him the resilience he needed in life. He says the name is one he is proud of, adding he is unbothered by the jokes.
Well, Ashe, according to the news anchor, is unbothered by the jokes, but it's Crystal Bevan Ash, not Ashe. The name is Crystal Bevan Ash, and Crystal Bevan Ash is the new tutor president. Now, he did put out a post on social media following what he would have done there down at the Bamboo Government Primary School last night, where the results were actually being called live, and when he basically declared victory after getting six districts. Take a look.
We've had results basically from 6 out of the 8 districts so far. From all realities, every single ballot box, with the exception of one, has been in your favor. You have had a landslide in 5 out of the 8 considered formalities with regards to tutor. And I really want you to tell me how that makes you feel as a person, and additionally, what does that do for you for that landslide win from the voting population?
In all honesty, I am very humbled by the fact that the membership would have that level of confidence in me, and it doesn't do anything for me really. I am given the opportunity to work for the membership. I'm really generally looking forward to doing that, just getting in office and doing what I need to do, pounding the ground from day one to day forever. I am you, you are me, we are Tutor.
Mr. Ash, let me be the first to congratulate you on your winning of the election as the president of Tutor. And I really want to ask, you had a lot of campaign promises. People saw you as a servant leader, as somebody who accepts all the positions continuously. I want you to assure the association. We have 11,000 members. You are now in the position that is paramount to any other position you have been in. What assurance can they have that you're not going to change, that power is not going to go to your head, and that you're going to continue to be the servant leader?
Mr. Bodo, to be honest with you, over the 32 years, I've never really changed. I've always been that individual who is willing to do what needs to be done, who is willing to serve the other individual to ensure that we get the desired result and so on. So at the end of the day, I'm grateful for the membership for having that confidence in me, and be rest assured that I am that individual who will continue to give you that level of service beyond, from now to beyond.
One sentence, what can we look forward to from our new Tutor president for the next 3 years?
Stronger advocacy. I will fight for you. You are me, we are Tutor.
I want to take this moment to really take Mr. Ash to task. I being his campaign manager, Mr. Raul. The minute he slips up, he is credible and he answers to the membership. Agree or disagree?
Totally agree.
And we will keep him to task, because this is a different Tutor.
We are Tutor.
Yeah, Mr. Bodo brought him to the principal office there, for sure. If you dare slip up, it's going to be me and you. But congratulations to Crystal Bevan Ash securing the position as newly elected Tutor president. And Tutor is, as far as I understand now, the second largest union with a membership of just about 11,000 teachers part of the union there. And we had the opportunity there of working with Mr. Ash. Go ahead. All right, so I had the opportunity of meeting Mr. Ash last night. Well, I said meeting as well, I never met the man before. But I had the opportunity to take a picture, follow-up picture there with Mr. Ash, Bevan Ash, new Tutor president in his almost official capacity. This is just last night when the elections was being called. I rushed down to Bamboo. I say I have to be there. So congratulations again to Crystal Bevan Ash on becoming the new Tutor president. Congratulations. Stay tuned to Trinidad and Tobago. When we come back, we will deal with the issue of, is it property tax or is it a surcharge? Stay tuned.
of students writing SCA in March 2026. Our Tuesday and Thursday class is filled, but we have heard your calls. Starting this October on Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., we have a new class geared for success. We cover all 3 subjects: mathematics, English language arts, and creative writing. We have perfected the art of pushing students to success. So if you want to get your child into one of these limited spaces, send us a WhatsApp message now at 370-9426 and book your spot before all are gone and give your child the best chance at success.
Welcome to SNS Facade Group of Companies, a dynamic community-driven group serving multiple industries with excellence and integrity. At SNS Facade Supermarket, we're committed to community, providing vessel export delivery, custom food services, local delivery, wholesale solutions, fresh produce, in-house bakery, and premium meats. Discover relaxation reimagined at Sunset Beach Resort, with beachfront stays and dining that blends local flavor with ocean views, perfect for families and couples. At Cuts and Curve Fitness Center, where health meets lifestyle, with personal training, meal plans, a full gym, and on-site cafe. The SNS Facade Group of Companies, building value, trust, and community across everything we do.
Whether your child is topping the class or just keeping up, stronger comprehension skills gives them the edge. That's why Learn Smart TT has created an online comprehension and poetry course. This is completely self-paced with all tools accessed online. It's 30 passages, 30 poems. They can be downloaded or answered on our site. From there, students get access to answer sheets that have detailed options of how the answers could have been written. No other product on the market has this. In addition, they get access to a video tutorial with an expert teacher walking them through the passage of poems using high visuals and techniques to ensure they derive meaning. Also, we model how we derived each answer so they can do the same. If you want your child to enjoy all of these benefits and propel in comprehension, SCA, and general academic life, click the link above and register for this course and join hundreds of parents and students who are benefiting.
So person seems to think that Kamala Persad-Bissessar and the United National Congress went back on their word when it comes to property tax or in the implementation of new additional taxes to the people of Trinidad and Tobago in the budget reading on Monday, right? Yeah, Monday. All right. And, you know, PNM is really trying their hardest to spread this propaganda and misinformation across social media. And it is completely false and untrue. Kamala Persad-Bissessar, leader of the government, came out via a press conference at Parliament, and she cleared the air on what you think, or whether or not you believe the narrative that the government is once again bringing back some level of property tax to the people of Trinidad and Tobago after campaigning against it. And the answer to the question, Trinidad and Tobago, is no. There is no property tax coming back for the people of Trinidad and Tobago. The landlord tax is simply a one-off charge. It's a surcharge on persons that are not paying their fair share to Trinidad and Tobago. It's an equal playing field. When Kamala Persad-Bissessar was going into budget, she said it's going to be a budget for all. And it's not going to be a budget that sees poor people at the suffering end as you would for other budgets under the People's National Movement. The landlord tax Trinidad and Tobago is simply a tax, as Kamala Persad-Bissessar said, on not just the poor people, or not on poor people, and not on just like residential persons, but on commercial. If you are renting a commercial property, if you're making profit off a commercial property, then you will pay a surcharge. You will pay your dues to the state, to you, the taxpayers here in Trinidad and Tobago. That's what Kamala Prasad-Bissessar said. But if you don't want to hear it from me, as normal people don't want to just hear it from us because they think that we are just paid to talk, or we are just talking because we want to talk, or because we want to promote the UNC, I think this TikToker did a really good job at explaining exactly what the landlord surcharge is. Take a listen.
Landlord surcharge. Let's quickly talk about it from a business perspective, and I do hope this video helps any of the landlords out there that has been operating off the books and realizing now that, hey, I think the government may be aware of a good bit of us renting, so let me get ready to go register as a landlord. So let's break this down. For some of you may be saying, but I'm not a business entity. I invested in some property and I just get a return on that investment. Listen, you may not be a business entity, but you are operating one of the main business entity activities, and that is you are offering something and you're receiving an income for it, and that is one of the major business activities for a business entity. So you may not be a business entity, but you're definitely doing one of the major business activities that a business entity would do, offering something and receiving income for it. And because the government is aware of this, that is why they created this registration system for landlords to hold accountability, because the government is basically saying, listen, we're aware that there are landlords out there that operating off the books, and you all are basically robbing the country of potential revenue because you're not paying the necessary taxes that goes along with being a landlord. All right, that's basically what is happening here, accountability. So before you go like, no, I'm taking my hard-earned money, from a business perspective, I want you to understand there's a reason behind it. And before you start holding your heads and saying they don't like to see people make money, they like to see people suffer, and all of these things, we have responsibilities as citizens of a country. And if we are earning income, whether through employment, whether through owning and operating a micro or small business, or maybe through landlord activities, we got to pay taxes and we have to add to the country's economic revenue. Hope this was helpful to anyone. Toodles.
Well, I think that was very simple. So you didn't hear from a politician, you didn't hear from a UNC spokesperson, you heard from a concerned citizen and a citizen of Trinidad and Tobago itself about what the tax is. There are plenty persons that we know of that renting all type of property and renting the HDC house. Renting the HDC house, making all kind of money in Trinidad and Tobago and not paying any type of taxes. And though that is who Kamala Prasad-Bissessar and the government is targeting, just as the illicit gambling, the illegal gambling that's taking place in Trinidad, the $9 billion gambling chain that's taking place in Trinidad, we saw DSS. I will not pretend that we didn't see DSS Susu, and hear PNM talk about DSS Susu, and hear PNM talk about the illegal gambling chain in Trinidad, but they did nothing about it. Kamala Prasad-Bissessar said that she's going to implement no new taxes, and no new taxes were introduced. All the taxes now, even on my good Johnny Walker and my good vodka, is to target, well, the alcohol tax, but the tax on landlords, and then it's not even new taxes, all the taxes that you see now Trinidad and Tobago, especially on gambling and stuff like that, is simply to curb the illegal things that happen, and the driving, the persons that has been running down the shoulder like they're mad. We all know people that's run down the shoulder like they're mad. driving recklessly, $15,000 for them, don't worry. But listen, that's not me, huh? Listen to Kamala Persad-Bissessar, Trinidad and Tobago, because she went and she spoke about it. So I'm going to let you hear from Kamala Persad-Bissessar herself speak about it is not a property tax. And in case Trinidad and Tobago, Penelope Beckles for sure, you open your fridge door and you close it the same time Kamala Persad-Bissessar said this. It is not a property tax.
Was under pressure. You shouldered more of the weight. And so we are introducing a very modest 0.25 levy on assets of banks and insurance, ensuring that those who have benefited most from national growth, they contribute to sustaining national growth and our quality of life. To bring balance to the housing market, we are formalizing the rental sector, establishing a clear, accountable system which protects both landlords and tenants and strengthens the integrity of the property market. Let me speak to you a bit about that measure, because some people are already misleading you and spinning it and contorting, if that's the word. That landlord business surcharge is not a property tax. Let's get that very, very clear. It is not a revised version of property tax. This is where we are putting a surcharge on people who are making income, earning income from their properties. So, for example, it's not on residential properties, understand, but if you take your property and you're renting it, but then you're breaking the law by not paying taxes, because that is income. It's a commercial enterprise. You're making income, and by law, you should be paying taxes. But for too long in the system, these persons were allowed to get away with it. You know, some of them don't even live in Trinidad, but they own 5 houses in Trinidad or in Tobago, and they're renting it out, collecting income, but paying no taxes. So everybody there must be a sharing of the burdens as well as the wealth of the country. And this is one way they will contribute to our coffers with the revenue. And at the same time, we can account. This is the accountability measure. So if you have any questions about that, I will be free to go further into it. But I make it very clear.
It is not a property tax, Penelope Beckles. It is not a property tax. It is simply a landlord surcharge for persons that have been evading paying taxes in Trinidad and Tobago. Don't act as though we don't know that person's doing that. You gotta ask yourself, if Colum Imbert goes to Parliament, finance number 2 bill in 2016 to evade paying his rightful share of taxes to the people of Trinidad and Tobago, what else person's doing out here? What else he doing out here? Maybe that's why he stood up with the opposition press conference and he was upset, because now he have to pay taxes too. Those persons that evade and paying taxes in Trinidad and Tobago, they now have to pay taxes too. And that's a way that government will generate revenue across the board, an equal share. It is not that the people who are going to rent have to pay this. And I hear people say, now your rental's going to go up. But people renting homes, a 2-bedroom home or a 1-bedroom home, $2,400, $3,500. We asked, and Kamala Persad-Bissessar said this during COVID, that there must be regulations, rules and regulations for landlords. There must be a proper landlord act that Keith Rowley went to Parliament and didn't even pass properly. He passed a pussyfoot act, basically, around the issue of landlords and rental agreements in Trinidad and Tobago, which allowed for landlords to basically do what they want to do to tenants across here in Trinidad. Kamala Persad-Bissessar campaigned on something different. And look at the first budget you get. The first budget you get, you're getting landlord surcharges. Surcharges for landlords, and particularly commercial, as Kamala Persad-Bissessar stipulated and stated here. It is not a property tax. You do not have to pay any new taxes for living in any type of dwelling places if your landlord is doing what they are supposed to do. Too many citizens across Trinidad and Tobago just running to go and live anywhere, like Rotork, but running to go and live anywhere and they don't know if the landlord actually registered, if the landlord is properly doing business, engaging in illegal activities or anything. They're telling you what not to do on the property, but them not even paying their own taxes. You need to do your due diligence as a tenant, and you need to also make sure that at least your landlord's following the law as well. And if they're not, there's a place that you could go to. There's a court that you can go to and bring these matters up. All right? But stay tuned, Trinidad and Tobago. When we come back, we will go to URP and CPEP, because I think the landlord issue done. There's nothing more to say. There's no new taxes for the people of Trinidad and Tobago. And when persons tell me, oh, the price of groceries going up, where you saw the price of groceries went up? I have not seen that. When we come back, we'll deal with that and we'll deal with URP. So all that's on YouTube. If you're having any issues with YouTube, go across to Facebook, because I know YouTube was down today. I don't know if it's back up after a short while. As far as I know, I can see properly. But if you cannot, you could go to Facebook, David Welch on Facebook. Stay tuned. We're coming back with more.
Welcome to SNS Facade Group of Companies, a dynamic community-driven group serving multiple industries with excellence and integrity. At SNS Facade Supermarket, we're committed to community, providing vessel export delivery, custom food services, local delivery, wholesale solutions, fresh produce, in-house bakery, and premium meats. Discover relaxation reimagined at Sunset Beach Resort, with beachfront stays and dining that blends local flavor with ocean views, perfect for families and couples. At Cuts and Curve Fitness Center, where health meets lifestyle, with personal training, meal plans, a full gym, and on-site cafe. The SNS Facade Group of Companies, building value, trust, and community across everything we do.
Parents of students writing SCA in March 2026. Our Tuesday and Thursday class is filled, but we have heard your calls. Starting this October on Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., we have a new class geared for success. We cover all three subjects: mathematics, English language arts, and creative writing. We have perfected the art of pushing students to success. So if you want to get your child into one of these limited spaces, send us a WhatsApp message now at 370-9426 and book your spot before all are gone, and give your child the best chance at success.
Fighting for it? Ma, he raised the price around in the budget.
And we're live here at Napa in Port of Spain, Trinidad, where tons of supporters of President of Chutney Soca, Ravi C, have all gathered to support him.
Let the lady know the tables are about to turn, as the President of Chutney Soca is just about to release
an announcement that he is going to raise
What kind of madness is this Trinidad and Tobago? I tell you, YouTube down, I will play raise the price of rum in the budget, and then it's because it's a UN. Anyway, so the price of rum gone up Trinidad and Tobago, and people are on both sides of the fence on it. The good thing is your Stag and your Carib prices remain the same, thank the Lord, so we could drink some beers. But you see, the light drinking, the vodka, the whiskey, the Jack Daniel, oh God, the Scotch, they are going up. They're going up Trinidad and Tobago. Look, to raise the price of rum in the budget. But anyway, following that Trinidad and Tobago, apparently persons are kind of upset that URP and CPEP coming back. And the persons that I'm speaking about is the opposition once more. Because they talk all kind of talk. They take the government to court. The court case get thrown out, not even thrown out. It didn't even reach as far as the judge here in the case because they filed it wrong, is what at least they said. They then come back to say, we're taking the government to court again. URP, people beating Barry Padarat out by Red House, all kind of nonsense happening. But Kamala Persad-Bissessar, I recall around that same time, a couple of weeks ago, was telling you, Trinidad and Tobago, to have faith. I love people, but I hate ghosts. That's what Kamala Persad-Bissessar said. Now, fast forward today, $310 million allocated for those that need relief, but through full-time employment. Let me take you to Devendranath Tanku, Minister of Finance, telling you basically, have faith. Kamala Persad-Bissessar has something planned for the people of URP and CPAP. You hear that, Penelope Beckles? Kamala Persad-Bissessar is not leaving the people hungry. Yes, I understand that there's some hard times right now, but the hard times is not forever. It is not forever. The sun will shine just as the sun shined over Trinidad and Tobago on April 28th. And then it shined over Trinidad and Tobago on October 14th, no, 13th was budget, right? Yeah, October 13th. So take a listen to Devendranath Tanku, Minister of Finance, saying, have faith, Trinidad and Tobago. Kamala Persad-Bissessar has something planned for those in CPAP and URP.
Just explain to URP and CPAP workers what is full-time job ideal, they maintain.
The Honorable Prime Minister, I was blessed, I believe, on Friday night after Parliament, where we were exposed to a presentation of what is to be rolled out in terms of employment creation. When the Honorable Prime Minister presents her plan to roll out job creation in this country, we will see a transformation of employment opportunities. We'll see opportunities in places they never had before. And what we will see is transparency and accountability in job creation. It's no longer going to be who you know and who can pull a string for you. It's going to be based on capability, qualifications, and the opportunity to train to move forward. This is not just a job. There are multiple opportunities to train for those jobs that are going to become available. But be prepared to be blown out of the water by the Honorable Prime Minister when she rolls out a job creation plan. And immediately after she announces, she started releasing pieces yesterday. Immediately after she says, we are going to do this, we are going to start doing it immediately.
So what are you worried about, Trinidad and Tobago? Why are you still listening to the opposition? Why are you even entertaining Penelope Beckles? Why? Penelope Beckles is offering no type of substance to Trinidad and Tobago. Kamala Persad-Bissessar is the only leader so far that we have had or we have in history that actually doing something for people. Look at how much money was allocated for healthcare. Healthcare got the second largest pie of the budget after education. Over what it was, $8 billion in healthcare being spent. The healthcare sector jumping for joy right now, Trinidad and Tobago. Let me see this. You know who else jumping for joy, Trinidad and Tobago? The PSA, the Public Service Association, jumping for joy in Trinidad and Tobago as they are getting their 10% that they worked so rightfully hard for, that they campaigned hard for. You all saw where they were in their room and they jumped for joy after hearing that they're going to get the 10% and they're going to start negotiations on that 10%. Trinidad and Tobago, you all listen to that? If you missed it, And if you was only following what the opposition Penelope Beckles was telling you and believing in what Penelope Beckles was saying, today I will show you differently Trinidad and Tobago. Take a look.
2014 to 2016 and 2017 to 2019. The Honorable Prime Minister has instructed me to advise the Chief Personnel Officer to submit a revised offer of 10.
Look at them, Trinidad and Tobago. Go back.
And 2017 to 20.
Look at them, Trinidad and Tobago. Jumping for joy as the Prime Minister gave them the 10% and said that it's going to be, well, they're revising and they're giving them 10% and they're bringing them back to the negotiation table. Have you ever seen a budget like this, where persons are glued on to the TV, hugging each other, jumping for joy, enjoying what goes on in Parliament outside of the Bacchanal? Look at this. Every time PNM had a budget, people were sad. The country was sad. And now the country has more to look forward to. That's the reality. The country has something more to look forward to simply because Kamala Persad-Bissessar is a leader with a heart and a vision for the people of Trinidad and Tobago. I want you all to take a look at this. Take a look at this one more time. Just take a look.
2017 to 2019. The Honorable Prime Minister has instructed me to advise the Chief Personnel Officer to submit a revised offer of 10.
This 10% revived offer and the people happy too bad. They're loving it. And I am happy for the Public Service Association, and I hope soon to God that the teachers through the new president, Crystal Bevan Ash, will move from the 4% onwards to the 10%. Listen, is everybody agreeing with the government's budget so far, you know? Everybody. Even the former Commissioner of Police to the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, Gary Griffith, who we never hear come out and talk about a budget, spoke about this budget that Kamala Persad-Bissessar delivered, or Devendra Tanku delivered inside the Parliament. Take a listen.
You know, there's something called an election budget, and the election budget is usually one that it's just give out lots of goodies just prior to a general election. You do not have an election budget after the election because you have already won. And what will usually happen is that that government will start belt tightening and trying to find ways to generate income rather than try to assist the citizens of our country. And with that, we'll have increase in taxes and so forth to balance the budget. So this budget is really one of a shocker. For the last 10 years, we had budget presentations by the Grim Reaper, or the Grinch that stole Christmas, with everything pertaining to arrogance, being obnoxious, and then laughing at the fact that the country didn't riot as yet. And then all of a sudden, after 10 years, we now have a budget from, instead of the Grim Reaper, from Santa Claus virtually, with things that can actually make citizens feel that we are going in the right direction. How it is they're going to balance that budget by reducing so many different items that would have generated income, it remains to be seen. But it is something that would obviously have the vast majority of citizens, many of them who do not know where their next meal will be coming from, feel a sense of happiness and belief that we are going in the right direction. If there's one thing that I would like to make a recommendation to, it's not a criticism, but it is a strong recommendation. There was very little.
And he went on to basically tell you about the command center, blah, 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 because you know that Gary Griffith feel. But even Gary Griffith, surprise, nobody could have think that this would have been the type of budget column in ball, $15 billion deficit. and the deficit is 3 billion. Listen, these people are, and I talk about the opposition, if you still listen to the opposition, Trinidad and Tobago, you mad. If you still, I went and buy chicken, and I see a woman in a P&M shirt. Where's that, director? She's probably homeless? Oh, okay. Take a break.
What if we told you that one course could boost your child's performance in every SCA paper? That's why Learn Smart TT has created an online comprehension and poetry course. This is completely self-paced with all tools accessed online. It's 30 passages, 30 poems. They can be downloaded or answered on our site. From there, students get access to answer sheets that have detailed options of how the answers could have been written. No other product on the market has this. In addition, they get access to a video tutorial with an expert teacher walking them through the passage of poems using high visuals and techniques to ensure they derive meaning. Also, we model how we derived each answer so they can do the same. If you want your child to enjoy all of these benefits and propel in comprehension, SCA, and general academic life, click the link above and register for this course and join hundreds of parents and students who are benefiting.
Welcome to SNS Facade Group of Companies, a dynamic community-driven group serving multiple industries with excellence and integrity. At SNS Facade Supermarket, we're committed to community, providing vessel export delivery, custom food services, local delivery, wholesale solutions, fresh produce, in-house bakery, and premium meats. Discover relaxation reimagined at Sunset Beach Resort, with beachfront stays and dining that blends local flavor with ocean views, perfect for families and couples. At Cuts and Curve Fitness Center, where health meets lifestyle, with personal training, meal plans, a full gym, and on-site cafe. The SNS Facade Group of Companies, building value, trust, and community across everything we do.
Of students writing SCA in March 2026. Our Tuesday and Thursday class is filled, but we have heard your calls. Starting this October on Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., we have a new class geared for success. We cover all 3 subjects: mathematics, English language arts, and creative writing. We have perfected the art of pushing students to success. So if you want to get your child into one of these limited spaces, send us a WhatsApp message now at 370-9426 and book your spot before all are gone and give your child the best chance at success.
Justice is one hell of a thing. And it's only after the People's National Movement demit office you realize the rule of law suddenly applies again to the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, especially given that the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, especially mainly the DPP, have something against David Lee or could formulate some kind of corruption against David Lee when it comes to taxes, right? But today, a judge slams ex-Prime Minister Keith Christopher Rowley's secrecy. The Office of the Prime Minister was ordered to disclose millions in legal payments in Paria inquiry. Victory for Marsha Walker. In a landmark ruling, High Court Judge Justice Joan Charles has ordered the Office of the Prime Minister to disclose the names of all the attorneys and consultants hired by the former Prime Minister Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley, along with the amount paid to them in connection to the Commission of Inquiry into the Paria diving tragedy. The decision came after social activists and UNC gone Marsha Walker, represented by Anand Ramlogan, Senior Counsel, after he filed a Freedom of Information FOIA judicial review challenging the Office of the Prime Minister's refusal to release the details. Justice Charles found that the Office of the Prime Minister breached its duty and candor and acted unlawfully by concealing information funded by taxpayers. She dismissed the OPM's argument that disclosure could endanger attorneys, noting that such details had such routinely published before without any risk. However, the judge emphasized that public accountability and transparency outweigh claims of privacy, declaring that payments made from public funds are matters of legitimate public interest. The court issued an order of memorandum compelling the Office of the Prime Minister to hand over all information within 7 days and ordered the state to pay Walker's legal cost. Walker, that's Marsha Walker, UNC scorned, was represented again by Anand Ramlogan, my famous Jayanti Lakshmidiyal, and Asha Ramlal, while the Office of the Prime Minister and Dr. Keith Rowley was represented by Russell, Senior Counsel and team. Is every lawyer Rowley have? Don't go lose. Is Johnny Sukaran? Is he good friend? He good friend that have bad spirit inside Parliament? I will already decide that for yourself who it is. Losing court cases left, right, and center. Rowley, we're going on with you, boy. He's supposed to be a geologist and he's supposed to be a prime minister. Every case that was brought against Trinidad and Tobago when Keith Rowley was in charge was lost. Imagine at 21, I sue the state and win. That should hurt the PNM. At 21, I sue the state and I win the state. Hey boy, Jarastafari, something wrong with all there. And it's like a losing spree PNM on, and still they want to talk like Penelope Beckles, oh God, and still they're talking about suing the state when it comes to CPEP and URP. All in tired. UNC have the best attorneys yet. Anand Ramlogan, Jayanti Lakshmidiyal, all of those UNC attorneys. I'm sure Asha Ramlal as well as a UNC attorney. Because, oh God, man, we just had the best attorneys on our side. This is the party where law and order matters. The PNM, it doesn't. They will try to hide, deflect, and mama guy. That's the PNM's motive. Anyway, I saw this. Donald J. Trump, President of the United States, actually is putting the CIA in Venezuela, or CIA operations to begin in Venezuela. And this is following several drone strikes out at sea and a serious plot to now take out, I'd like to say, let me not say take out, but to dethrone Nicolas Maduro as the Venezuelan president. All right? Now, this comes right after Donald J. Trump has ordered all talks with Nicolas Maduro be halted by his foreign advisors, etc., etc. All talks to be halted, and warships are still out at the Caribbean Sea. With any day now, maybe a strike could go down on Venezuela at any time. Now, Venezuela, Nicolas Maduro is paying close attention to this and said that any move by the United States, he will declare a country in arms and declare a state of emergency. Stay tuned, Trinidad and Tobago. We have one more commercial break to take. When we come back, we'll look to wrap up for tonight. I'll see you back in just about 3 minutes.
If your child doesn't understand what they read, SCA becomes 10 times harder. That's why Learn Smart TT has created an online comprehension and poetry course. This is completely self-paced with all tools accessed online. It's 30 passages, 30 poems. They can be downloaded or answered on our site. From there, students get access to answer sheets that have detailed options of how the answers could have been written. No other product on the market has this. In addition, they get access to a video tutorial with an expert teacher walking them through the passage or poems using high visuals and techniques to ensure they derive meaning. Also, we model how we derived each answer so they can do the same. If you want your child to enjoy all of these benefits and propel in comprehension, SCA, and general academic life, click the link above and register for this course and join hundreds of parents and students who are benefiting.
Welcome to SNS Facade Group of Companies, a dynamic community-driven group serving multiple industries with excellence and integrity. At SNS Facade Supermarket, we're committed to community, providing vessel export delivery, custom food services, local delivery, wholesale solutions, fresh produce, in-house bakery, and premium meats. Discover relaxation reimagined at Sunset Beach Resort, with beachfront stays and dining that blends local flavor with ocean views, perfect for families and couples. At Cuts and Curve Fitness Center, where health meets lifestyle, with personal training, meal plans, a full gym, and on-site cafe. The SNS Facade Group of Companies, building value, trust, and community across everything we do.
Parents of students writing SCA in March 2026. Our Tuesday and Thursday class is filled, but we have heard your calls. Starting this October on Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., we have a new class geared for success. We cover all 3 subjects: mathematics, English language arts, and creative writing. We have perfected the art of pushing students to success. So if you want to get your child into one of these limited spaces, send us a WhatsApp message now at 370-9426 and book your spot before all are gone and give your child the best chance at success.
So just 2 points coming out of the opposition press conference. I was hoping to get a response for. One, they suggested that the price of oil and gas was overly inflated to allow you all to be able to dip into the HSF. That is one of the suggestions that they made. And also the issue of the bank levy. Are you concerned, or was any consideration given to that the banks might try to pass it on to their customers? And if so, have conversations been had with the bank warning them?
Okay, let me take one question at a time, son. First question was about the assumptions that we based it on, the gas and the oil and gas, right? The assumptions you're saying that the naysayers and the detractors are saying we just inflated that so we could do other things. Well, that's what they used to do. Correct. That's what they did every year. So their tricks are not our tricks. We have been fair in using the assumption numbers that we chose. We have been fair in that. We have followed the practice that they had about basket of prices. So we did not inflate anything to fool people. That was their trick, not my trick. The second one? That is, yeah, they may try. They may try, but that is why we are in government. We will make sure that does not happen.
Watch now. That is what Nia Motley did on the world stage when she said if you don't fix it, we go regulate you. That's what government for. So when people running around, running their mouth and saying that Kamala ain't know what she doing and that the banks go pass on the cost and this, that, and the other and all kind of thing. You all heard when Kamala Prasad Bissessar said Trinidad and Tobago? You all heard? She said they could try, but that's why we ain't.
One question at a time, son. First question was about.
Listen.
The second one. That is, yeah, they may try. They may try, but that is why we are in government. We will make sure that does not happen. We had, during opposition times, we had talked a lot about the bank fees and whatever. So, listen, we're ready for them. We are ready for them. So I want to thank you all very much.
They may try, but they will try and they will fail. If the banks do try to pass on the costs to the customer, and what do you mean by pass on costs to customers? Is we pay money there to save money. Listen, RBC, I have a bone to pick with all you know, but I'll do it on the next show, and particularly Republic Bank too. But anyway, it means that if you try to pass on fees that you're supposed to pay, you're supposed to be looking after the interests of your people and the interests of the people of Trinidad and Tobago. It is Keith Rowley that said he's not trying to regulate the bank. In fact, he said he's not trying to make the rich richer. Well, he's not trying to bridge the gap between the rich and the poor, because the rich needs to get richer to take the poor out of poverty. And what do you say? They'll have to create opportunities to opportune. That's crazy. Kamala Prasad Bissessar is saying the complete opposite. They can try, but that's why we in government now, we will not allow that to happen. And that is a type of leadership that Trinidad and Tobago needs now. That is a type of leadership that we needed back then, even during COVID, when you said no to the government, when you said no to the UNC. That's what we needed. We needed this heavy-handed approach that we do have today that we missed for a long time, and not the type of approach where you approach the raging bull and then he becomes even more of a raging bull. Those times gone, Trinidad and Tobago. The times of Keith Rowley is dead and gone. And Penelope Beckles is one of the same, nothing different. Look at what goes on in Parliament. Look at Kareem Marcel. Look at the next one next to him. Look at Brian Manning, Colin Mbate, Nyan Gasby, Dolly, Shamfa Kujo. All of them, thank God, we dodge a bullet with the People's National Movement. I think they have 12 people now. They're going to bring it down to 1 sooner rather than later. Have a great night, Trinidad and Tobago. I will see you back here on Saturday. All right? Saturday, look out for another week in review. And we're going to touch on a lot more. I want to say thank you so much for all the views, all of the support, all of the likes. Trust me, there are days where I don't even feel like doing the show, but I come on and I do the show, and you guys show up, watch. So far, the budget show for just the show, this is not like everything else, for just the show, over 60,000 views on, I think, just YouTube alone. That is amazing. Thank you. So clap now, girl. Jesus, clap loud. All right. So thank you so much again for all those that join on YouTube. You're all definitely showing your support for the show and liking the show. And I 100% appreciate that. All right. So I'll see you back here on Saturday for another weekend review with your host, David K. Welch. Have a great night.